Father God, I pray that our families will come together right now and seek your face. You will forgive our sins and you'll heal our incredible land. In the name of the only Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
With the heart of darkness, going to blows with your fear incarnate. You're never going till it's stripped away. The part of you has gotta die to change. In the morning you gon' need an answer. Ain't nobody gonna change the standard. It's not enough to just feel the flame. You gotta burn your old self away. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you makes you stronger. Get back up, this is a whole love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gonna hurt, but don't slow down. Get back up, this is a whole love. You know the situation can't be right, and all you ever do is fight. But there's a reason that the road is long. It takes some time to make your courage strong. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you make you stronger. Get back up, this is a whole love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gonna hurt, but don't slow down. Get back up, this is a whole love. When the wolves come and hunt me down, I will face them all and stand my ground. 'Cause there's a fire burning deep, and they will see my strength in this love I've found. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you make you strong.
All right, so welcome to the Mark and Mike Show. This is WFRSCC 88.3 FM, the best in contemporary Christian. So this is Mark, and
Yep, and I'm Mike.
Here we are. This is the show. We're just gonna start. We're gonna introduce ourselves and talk a little bit about what we're looking to do with the show.
So first night. So big day. Hoping this is a chance for us to just welcome you into kind of our mindset, what we want this show to be about, and really just our philosophy of life a little bit. It's gonna be fun. We're going to get serious at times, but mostly it's just going to be a good time. So I guess I'll start with intros. So I'm Michael Sobis, Mike, and I'm a bio major here at Franciscan. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I guess some fun facts about me. The coolest Christmas present I ever got was a bow and arrow. But it wasn't just like a regular bow and arrow, because it was like a recurve bow, and if you know what that means, it means it doesn't have all those extra strings and stuff that a lot of people like to use nowadays. It's like old-fashioned, and what's really cool is that it actually belonged to my dad when he was a kid. So, my grandparents gave it to me. They dug it out of their basement or something. I did archery for a while. Unfortunately, I lived in the suburbs, so wasn't a whole lot of opportunities to practice. I lived in an apartment for a while. I wanted to practice outside the apartment. Parents weren't too down with that.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, I'm Mark, computer science major. Hometown is none other than Hamburg, Michigan. Greatest state in the union is what I like to tell people. So there's definitely no debating that in any way. By the way, if you something we say, it really strikes a chord with you, or you're trying to debate us a little bit on some of the stuff we're saying, hit us up on the Twitter. It is the Mark Mike Show on Twitter. So, if you think Michigan is the greatest state in the union, definitely tweet us at the show. If you don't, then I guess you can still tweet us, but
Yeah, wow.
can't really argue it. So, but fun facts about me, my dad owns a funeral home, so it's a pretty fun time. I've worked there over the summer and stuff. So, people are very interested when they hear that for the first time. Your dad owns a funeral home. What does that mean? But yeah, no, it's interesting. So yeah, that's my fun fact. So next we're going to move on. Like, what is this show? It's probably what you're thinking. You're like, who are these guys? What is this? What is this about? So basically this show it's the wholesome content you're looking for.
It is. It really is. Yeah, we would really just like to, take the time out of our day to spend it with you all. I think it's really easy for people to get caught up on the next thing all the time, and never to just look around, see what's going on around you, and just be in the moment and really appreciate it. So if you're thinking along the lines of Ferris Bueller, that's exactly what we mean. So we're taking the time here to, take a spin around town, around just our thoughts, a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of goofing around. So
yeah, the theme of our show is spending time, not wasting it. When I was thinking about this earlier today, it's how many times we're just sitting there scrolling on our phone, or whatever it might be, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We're just kind of just wasting time. We're always looking for something, and we forget to enjoy the moment. We're just kind of thinking about other things, or trying to do two things at once, or I don't know. I've found myself sometimes I'm watching TV, but I can't even I'm not interested enough in the show, so I'm looking at my phone. It's it's one of those things where
it's all content all the time, but never just taking the time to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so enjoy the moment. That's something that I've really tried to implement in my life, and that's what we're trying to bring to you, is just enjoy the moment. A couple of guys talking about whatever it is, so it's gonna be a fun time. Like Mike was saying earlier, a couple of days ago, I think it was, there's people go on Facebook, there's comments everywhere,
yeah, no, you don't see a comment on Facebook my dog's the cutest dog ever, or puppies are great, and then you'll have 50,000 comments of people telling their life story, and it's wow, this person you probably don't even know that well, spending time writing a comment, and then sad thing is sometimes people get caught up in that, even with people they are close to or consider themselves close to, family members. They'll leave the little comment on Facebook, or tap the little heart. But it's do you ever take the time to just pick up the phone and call? And you know what? That's going to end up giving you more value and a little bit more love, I think, than, just a little heart emoji or little comment on the cutest dog you ever saw.
Yeah, no doubt. And the thing is, how many of those people are you following on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram that, you don't really know them. You're just kind of, one of those people, you're I've, seen them or whatever, and it's, I think it's important to take that time. Just take time and, I don't know, recognize the people that are in your life, and, maybe that's somebody you're seeing in class, or somebody that you bump into at the grocery store or whatever, but just taking time, looking them in the eye. I think that's a big thing, is something that I've really try to do is like, it's just funny because it's so simple, but so enjoy the moment, enjoy the people around you. And I think that's kind of what we're hoping to bring to you guys in this show, is just like taking a deep breath and just kind of enjoying where we're at right now, whether that's, Steubenville, Ohio, or, some other place. Like, it's all great, so.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that's right. And, basically, I like what you said about just looking people in the eye and, like, taking the time to notice other people, too. Because, especially for me, I don't know what it is, but even family members, I feel like it's the hardest. Well, it's probably just because we're at school all the time,
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
so easy to forget about what's going on back at home,
Mm-hmm.
How your aunts are doing, your cousins,
Right.
How often do you really see them? But it's like, they're the people that are, I mean, I guess closest to you biologically, but do you really know them? I mean, it seems like a lot of people we know are strangers starting out, but do we take the time to know the people who have known us since we were born?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
that's definitely something I've struggled with. Like, coming back this year, like this semester, I was like, oh man, I really, really just don't take the time, even if it's a Sunday, I'll pile on the work or like pile on the activities,
Mm-hmm.
and never give my grandparents a call. Even my immediate family, it's like, wow, I mean, these people raised me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's a good time to like reflect and think like, okay, what can where can I do better? Just taking kind of like spending that time rather than wasting it. It's like, it's really easy to just let that time pass by. So yeah, like Mike's saying. So now we're going to move to a different segment now. First, before we do that, as many of you know, my phone battery, not great. So we're gonna have a little contest here. Currently, my phone battery is at a certain percentage. If you tweet us what my phone battery is, and you get it correct, whatever it is at the end of the show, I will reveal it and give you a shout out. So tweet us what you think my phone battery is right now, 8 p.m. at night. I've been using my phone, pretty regularly the whole day, so
it's low. It's down there.
It's down there. So yeah, let us know what you think my phone battery is at right now. So yeah, Mike is going to introduce our next segment. We're really excited about this.
Okay, yeah. Moving on, something really near and dear to Mark and I's hearts, childhood TV shows. So we're going to kind of move to some Twitter polls we put out earlier in the week, because we like to hear from our listeners, what, objectively speaking, was the best TV show from your childhood, just to get a little bit of nostalgia flowing. And let's see, our first one was, out of the 4 options we gave, Cyber Chase, Rugrats, Arthur, and Reading Rainbow. What's that?
I was thinking about this. Reading Rainbow.
What the heck is Reading Rainbow?
Reading Rainbow did not get a lot of love on the Twitter poll, which it's really disappointing.
That's because it got 0%.
I know. Okay, let me explain. So, I think where Reading Rainbow finds its value is its iconic song. It has this intro song that just gets stuck in your head. I think it might be top 5. Top 5 songs of any TV show.
So the weird thing is, I think I listened to the Reading Rainbow song because I saw this in our poll, and I was like, I've never heard of Reading Rainbow. I went and I listened to the song, and it sounded so familiar, but I don't think I ever watched that show.
Yeah, it's subconscious. It's in your subconscious because it's just so good. you know.
So who knows what sort of evils were lurking on Reading Rainbow that have infiltrated my inner mind. But I remember the song, I guess.
Listen, Reading Rainbow was a show about, I don't even really remember what it was about. I just remember the song. I think they like read books or something. I honestly don't remember.
So
But
it's a TV show about reading books.
something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Along that line. But the important thing is that the song was so catchy that, you know, it's just kind of, it's one of those things. It's like you remember it. You don't remember what the show is about or any of the episodes distinctly, but you will undoubtedly remember the song. And that's why I put it in here. You know, I thought maybe somebody would show it some love because of its theme song. You know, it's iconic.
See, I think maybe if we played the theme song, I wish we could. We can put it up on the Twitter or something. But,
We'll put it up on the Twitter, and then, you know, you guys can let us know what you think. Personally, I think it's got to be up there, top 1 or 2, maybe 3, top 3.
Okay. Did you ever play Read a Rabbit? Have you ever heard of that?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Well, it was one of those computer games where you actually had to get a disc for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like, I don't know. It was probably for like 4-year-olds, but
Of course.
it's like for those dinosaur computers that are like 3 cubic feet, and
Right.
you know, you slide it into the CPU, and man, I really liked that game. We'd go to my sister's study hall. They had a little connector between their rooms when I was little, and that's where the computer was, and I was always so jealous because I had to go through my sister's bedroom to get to the computer.
Yeah.
They had it
yeah.
all to themselves. So, and then of course, you know, it's like they're charging a toll every time I go through their room.
Yeah, it seems unfair. Unfair. Childhood injustice, you know, that's...
You know
I hate
what?
to
That's
see
probably how I turned out the way I did. But you know what?
You know?
We're moving past that. But yeah, I really like that game, and there's a lot of those sort of CD games that have kind of been phased out, because now you have things like
Fortnite and whatnot, yeah.
Madden.
Yeah, Madden's big. I think the game that we had that was on disc, it was called Midtown Madness. And basically you just drove around and the cops chased you, and it was a good time. Let me tell you. I loved that game. You would basically just like pick whatever car, and you're just flying, you know, doing whatever, and the cops are just like ramming into you, trying to take you down. It was a good time. Great time. So, yeah, no, I back in the day, those computer games, you know, we didn't have all this like fancy technology, you know, like handheld phones. No, you had to go back to the computer. And
no, when I was growing up, cell phones didn't have a screen. It was like, my mom had a cell phone, and that was like a big deal. She had a little antenna on it, and it was like, I don't know. We all thought it was.
We
super
sound like
cool.
old men right now, but
We are old men, basically.
something like that. Yeah,
we're on the nostalgia
I
section.
I,
So
I do remember
we gotta
those.
talk like old men.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember the flip phones. Yeah, that was way back.
Yeah.
It was like I thought they were really cool though. I like really wanted one.
Well, then the slide phones came out. It was a normal like face, but then you could, you know, slide it up a little bit with your
the full
thumbs.
keyboard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
full keyboard.
that was my first phone. Was the full keyboard phone, and it was pretty legendary. Except for when I got a phone, all of my friends had iPhones. So, you know.
When did you get your first phone?
I got a phone when I was in 9th grade.
Okay, so like 14.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that's like about when I got my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first phone actually was an iPhone.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nah, you can't understand the struggle of the slide phone. You know, it's you look like such a dork with all these kids with their cool iPhones. You know, it's like, okay, you know, it's good though. You know, it teaches you some humility because you have no other choice. It's like, and it teaches you also, you know, not to be on your phone so much because you don't want to pull it out because you're embarrassed. It's also not a bad thing. So, yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's pretty easy to get carried away with the phone, so it's probably like
a
good way to ease into it.
Definitely.
My parents were talking about replacing my younger brother's phone with one of those. I don't know if it's called like a ladybug or. It's
Oh,
like,
yes.
It's got
Yeah.
2 buttons on it. It's like
It's
the
like
home
call
and
home.
911.
Yeah. Oh,
And
man.
right now he's got a Pixel, so
That would be such a regression that you can't go back. You can go one way, but you can't go the other.
no, yeah, I think that would ruin him.
That would be rough. No, that's funny though. That's really funny. So yeah, speaking of computer games though, we had one of our Twitter polls was Webkins versus Club Penguin. Now I think this is very interesting. Club Penguin. This is actually our most popular poll. 24 votes. It's pretty good.
Wow.
So I mean, I would like to get a larger sample size on this.
We'll get
So-
the psych department on that.
Yeah, we will. We really have to because personally, I was a Club Penguin man. You know, it's like you get up on the Club Penguin, you know, you're going down the I don't even remember what it was called, like the sledding or was it?
Hey, I don't know, because I was Webkins all the way.
See, like,
Club Penguin was like the dark side.
No.
And
Oh.
I don't think my parents trusted Club Penguin because it was online. And,
That's true.
I mean,
Was online.
Well, I mean, obviously Webkins was online
Yeah,
too. But
there's
it
more
was,
social interaction in Club Penguin.
right,
though,
because you
for
had like
sure.
chat rooms. Right?
Yeah, it was like you had your chat rooms, but you can only say like certain things.
Well, I mean, you look at Club Penguin. I mean, I've actually gone on Club Penguin recently, and apparently it's like all kids, like 2019, like people.
At this point, I could understand.
Yeah, I think it's being phased out, but
Trying to
it's-
relive the childhood here, but
it's like you go on Webkins, it's like your own little town. You can build your own house, and it's like a stuffed animal. So it's something you actually get. You can hold it. I always brought my stuffed animals down with me,
Yeah.
playing on the computer.
Mhm.
So this was a different computer. Like we had to go to my dad's office to play Webkins because my parents wiped the internet on the computer upstairs. We could only do like Microsoft Paint.
yeah.
And,
Back in the day, yeah.
yeah, and then
That's funny.
you know, obviously the CDs, but like the DVD games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we had to get permission to go on my dad's
On the
computer.
Webkins. Yeah.
You're always like fighting tooth and nail for an extra 2 minutes. Like, gotta feed him that, Sunday surprise.
Yeah. See, I had a Webkins. You know, it was like a big deal. Like I bought this Webkins. It was like $16. I remember
They were kind of expensive.
because I was like, wow, I barely even have $16. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy this Webkins, and you know what, it was a good time. It was a good time, but I feel like it was kind of disappointing. I was a little disappointed. I was like, this is $16.
Okay, well, see, I was spoiled because my parents bought all my Webkins.
Ah, okay.
I would ask for them, and then I'd get them for like my birthday or something.
Right.
So for me, the opportunity cost was not as high as
Wow,
the
that's
$16.
See, that's a good econ term right there. It's impressive.
Just shouting out my my marketing business majors out there.
Trying to appeal to the a wider variety of people, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure, yeah. So, those are that was a big one. Club Penguin was pretty lit, if I say so myself. You had a lot more space to roam, and like there was a lot of little games you could play, whether it was like the fishing game, or like the secret agent missions. Those were fun. I was a big fan of Club Penguin, but I don't know. Let us know on the Twitter if you think that you think Club Penguin deserved a win, basically. Because, Mike's trying to say, like, Webkins kind of 37%. That's pretty bad. It was, Club Penguin won with 62%. Webkins just lagging behind 37%.
That's the thing. If you look at the fine print, there was 54 minutes left remaining in this poll, and we called it. So, honestly, there could have been... Webkins could have dark horsed it. Like,
That is possible. I guess we should, we can check on the Twitter right now, but... It's tough to...
No, because the hardest part about Webkins was trying to remember your password.
Yeah, that's true. This wasn't the day of, your browser saves the password and you just
Right.
Autofills it.
Like, and you're like 10, so it's not like your attention span's all there.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was for Club Penguin. I remember telling my sister that she needed to pick a password that she would remember. So I chose this like really like random thing, and she never forgot it. So that probably not the safest password coming from a computer science major.
No, yeah, I think
But
all my passwords were just like 5 letters. I mean, it wasn't the sort of thing, email your change of password code, and because it's not like you have an email. But
right.
No, on Webkins it was neat because you could go on, you could get your house, you go to the arcade, there's the Wheel of WoW.
Wow.
And Wishing Well too. Like, you had to hit up all the daily spots, like, and then the gem mine. Like, it was pretty cool. See, maybe I just was never exposed to Club Penguin, and I never got to see what it was like.
Yeah, that could be true.
Because you've kind of seen both sides of the coin here.
Yeah, that's true. So looking at the Twitter, there were 24 votes when the poll ended. So sorry to say, but Webkins just can't hang.
I don't know. I mean, these results may not be statistically significant.
It might be true. So, I don't know.
But I think it's time to move to the next one, because this one is one of my, I think my favorite polls. So we did like overall childhood TV shows. It's more like younger kids. Mm-hmm. But like once you started getting to double digits in the age number, you had shows like Drake and Josh, iCarly, like, I mean, the best Nickelodeon shows out there. A lot of these, well, I guess Fairly Odd Parents wasn't on Teen Nick, but according to our poll, Drake and Josh was by far the most popular. And
47%.
Yeah, and that's pretty big.
That's pretty big.
And then we had iCarly up there too, only at 26. Zoe 101, I mean, I actually never watched that show. And I think when I was younger, anything that had like teenagers in it, my parents didn't want me to watch.
That's fair.
Because they thought teenagers were, I don't know, a bad influence.
See, Zoe 101 was popular. Like, I was just young enough to catch the tail end of Zoe 101 when it was popular. But I remember I was like, oh, this is a cool show. I thought it was cool that all the kids lived at this like beach place. It was like a boarding school. And I thought that was really cool. But I was also like, confused, like, where are their families? It was a little confusing.
Was it a college campus? Is that what it was?
It was a high school, I think.
High school, okay.
It was weird. I don't know. I just remember, like, being intrigued by the fact that they lived at this boarding school. Not that I would ever want to do that as, like, a high schooler, but I remember being intrigued by that. So, no, but my personal favorite is Drake and Josh. Like, you can't go wrong. Drake and Josh, classic. Absolutely. There's some episodes, such as the salsa cook-off.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking about that. Like, the Peruvian puff pepper causes what? Kidney failure and chapped lips.
It's like something, like.
And Megan got it from like Mexico, like illegally. It was like under the table sort of thing.
And that episode was so good. Also, Crazy Steve.
Crazy Steve, yeah.
He was that was a quality character right there.
He was.
And like and that's why I think that's why iCarly I didn't like it as much, because Crazy Steve like turned into like this more like adult figure. I mean, he was still wild, and he obviously wasn't the same character.
It was like Jerry Trainer or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what his name was in iCarly. What was his name? Spencer.
Spencer, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the older brother.
Yeah, so like he kind of lost his like wildness. Although he did make some interesting statues and like sculptures and whatnot, which was which it was funny. But
I think they had to keep something going.
Yeah.
From his previous show, it's a little bit of crazy.
Yeah. So, no, iCarly, I was always confused why their elevator opened up into their apartment.
I actually never thought about that.
I never got that. Like, how did they get an apartment where they had an elevator that just was, like, right in there? It was, like, the cargo elevator?
Maybe they were in the penthouse. I think maybe sometimes you have to, like, you have to put your key into the elevator and like turn it or something.
Right.
So that you can go to that floor.
Yeah.
Or else it like just doesn't work.
Okay, I can see that. It's like some special like upper level. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was always confused by that because I was like, wait. But then the thing is like, there was also definitely an elevator like outside in the hallway. So it's like.
That's also true because they always show them coming in from the hallway.
Right.
So unless they were somewhere else on their floor, that's a good question.
It was confusing. It was confusing. I never understood that. But
They probably just didn't want you to think about it like me. Like I didn't ever think about that.
Yeah.
But
So.
no, did you ever see the Drake and Josh Christmas special?
The one where they go to jail.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is like my brother and I, like our all-time favorite movie.
It's so good.
Yeah, it really is, and it's so funny because it took place after the show officially ended.
Oh, really?
But they wanted to do like one last hurrah, and now
Mhm.
I mean they're talking about bringing back Drake and Josh as a
Really?
reboot. But yeah, I don't know about that. We'll
Are
see.
they gonna bring back both Drake and Josh?
I think so.
Okay. Well, that is.
They'd have the
potential.
original characters, I think, but I don't know. It's probably not going to be the same.
I can't imagine it would be.
But anyway, in the Christmas special, if you haven't seen it, it's like, so the parents they go on this tropical getaway for Christmas, and leave the teenagers Drake, Josh, and Megan behind in is it L.A. Is it San Diego?
I think it's San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah,
okay.
they live in San Diego.
And basically, they go to this Christmas party and just goes like these thugs show up, goes horribly wrong. Josh gets arrested. Of course, Josh never does anything wrong, and Drake tries to break him out, and then for some reason they end up on parole, trying to make these orphans have the best Christmas ever, and it just is crazy, and they have a great time. They do Christmas carols. They there's like a wood chipper at some point that
yeah,
shoots
Crazy
ice.
Steve plays a big role in that movie.
He does.
And he really saves the day in the end with the wood chipper.
No, he does. Like, at first it's a disaster, but then it ends up all right. But yeah, no, Drake and Josh, the Christmas special, that one was great.
That was a quality movie.
For sure.
No doubt. So, well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to be back with our next segment. So, stay tuned, everyone.
Trading punches with the heart of darkness, going to blows with your fear incarnate. You're never going till it's stripped away. The part of you has gotta die to change. In the morning you gon' need an answer. Ain't nobody gonna change the standard. It's not enough to just feel the flame. You gotta burn your old self away. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you make you stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gon' hurt, but don't slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. You know the situation can't be right, and all you ever do is fight. But there's a reason that the road is long. It takes some time to make your courage strong. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you make you stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gon' hurt, but don't slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. When the wolves come and hunt me down, I will face them all and stand my ground. 'Cause there's a fire burning deep. They will see my strength in this love I've found. Whoa!
right, and we are back. We have a very special guest with us tonight. Aiden is here with us.
Good evening, gentlemen. And all you lovely listeners out there. How's it going?
Aiden's one of the freshmen on the cross country team with us. That Mike and I didn't say that before, but we run cross country and track as well as Aiden.
It's a great time.
So it is a good time. We got we have a good time, and one of the things that we do on the cross country team is our mantra is like, we're just out here being the guys team.
That's what we do,
Yeah.
It's we out there, we do our thing, and we come back and we have fun,
Yeah, we goof around. We're out there. We don't put too much pressure on ourselves, and I think it's a good time. So this segment is about being around the people that you enjoy. So we brought Aiden on because he's very, very, very big supporter of the show.
Oh yeah.
Huge
long time supporter.
So,
he was actually one of our first supporters, believe it or not. So, Aiden, he's a real one.
Oh yeah.
That is for sure.
Of course.
So, first question I have for you, Aiden.
Hit me.
What is it? I'm from Detroit. The Detroit Lions, like, historically bad team. What is it like to have a winning football team?
So, the best part about having it is, like, we get a parade every year. Usually, this year.
Aiden's
I'm
I'm
from Boston.
Right.
Like, I'm a Patriots fan all the way.
Yeah.
So we're used to having a parade every year, and this year we're deprived of that. And you feel it in the community. Like, I'm not even there, and I can feel just the sadness like looming all over the Boston air.
Yeah.
Well, imagine how Clemson feels.
Yeah, it's true. Clemson, Mike, you're near the Clemson area. You know what it's like to have a winning football team.
Yeah, well, mostly it's like I know friends who have a winning football team.
Okay.
It's like, here at Franciscan, don't really have that. So, honestly.
Hey, but we don't have a losing football team.
Hey, that's true. No, really, it was really cool having Clemson so nearby. I guess it's like a couple hours away from where I live in Charlotte. But no, people were hype about that. I know people in high school who were, diehard Clemson fans, super excited. But this year, I almost feel like the LSU fans is kind of underwhelming. After seeing how Clemson fans celebrate. It's just, I never heard any crazy stories about LSU fans just getting real hype.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, they just acted like they already won before they won, So it's kind of hard to get excited.
Do you guys know the UMass Amherst? You guys know UMass Amherst?
I can't say they do.
So it's not when their football team wins, but it's more when the Patriots win. They will they'll climb everything. They'll climb the light posts, flag poles. One kid got arrested, I think, for climbing up the outside of one of the dorms, and it's like
wow.
they're like
4-story, 5-story.
No, they're like multiple,
taller,
a lot taller. So they was just on the outside, just climbing up, and they riot, and you don't want to be around.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I know in Philly, they greased up the light poles when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty funny. But yeah, no, that's wild. We don't have that problem in Detroit.
Which is, it's a win and a loss at the same time, like.
It's not because we're winning. It's
because you're having fun.
Yeah, so, it's all right. It's fine. Yeah, I'm okay.
Fun fact about the Eagles, though. There's a high school near my house. It's like 20 minutes from my house, Myers Park. Their head coach, actually, he was backup quarterback for the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Josh McCown.
Yeah, he's like one of the only NFL players who had his debut on the Eagles, like when he was over 40.
In the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, he had been on an NFL team before.
Yeah, he's played probably 20 years.
Yeah. He was finally retired though.
I know. I heard about that. That's taking one for the team right there.
No, yeah, and his only condition for signing with the Eagles was that they would fly him home 2 days a week to go to football practice at his high school.
You gotta love that. That's
you do.
That's good.
That's dedication. And really, it was doing something bigger than himself. So props to him.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. I heard that he actually like I can't remember exactly, but he was like injured early on when he was in the playoff game, but he toughed it out. So that's pretty cool. Very cool. So the other thing I was thinking about asking you was, what, we talked about the TV show theme songs. I personally, Reading Rainbow has a soft spot in my heart. But is there any TV show theme song that you can think of that's like, something that it's like, wow, I really appreciate this song.
Well, yeah, I think you guys missed two big shows. You missed, first of all, the Pokemon show. Every season they came out with come on, a new theme song, like basically the same iteration.
That's impressive.
Versed differently, but like that one, and then Ben 10.
Ben 10.
The Ben 10 theme show.
Yeah.
Or theme song. Yeah, that was...
I do remember that. The thing is, I didn't really watch Ben 10, but I can recall the theme song, so obviously it must have been pretty good.
The Ben 10... It was not the first Ben 10 series. It was the second one, like Ben 10 Ultimate or something like that.
Okay, all right.
But it was like when he got like the the upgraded Omnitrix or whatever it was. Like that was my show. Ben 10 was that was what I ran off of,
So here's something I'd like to throw in the mix. It's like you have your different TV stations. Obviously, they're putting out different types of shows,
like
but
Cartoon Network versus Nickelodeon.
Right, like Cartoon Network, Disney, Nickelodeon. You have your PBS shows, but like, which one do you most identify with?
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cartoon Network.
Well, because here's the thing, I wasn't allowed to watch Nickelodeon as a kid.
See,
it was
now
literally just. Except for Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
That was my favorite show, and I actually got my parents into that, which was the weirdest thing for me because they hated like Saturday morning TV shows, and like
as most parents do.
Yeah, rightfully so, 100%. Looking back, I understand, but I remember I remember watching Avatar, and then explaining to my dad like the entire like lore behind the series, and I was like 10,
yeah, probably
younger than 10,
right.
And my dad's like, "What is this kid talking about?" He's like, "Why are we letting him watch this show?"
So whack.
That was the one show I could watch on Nickelodeon, and I mean, other than that, like Cartoon Network just had all like the classics for me.
Yeah, there was some quality shows on there. Mike, you a Cartoon Network man?
There's a select few shows on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I remember maybe when I was like 11. Mad was on. It was just a bunch of like
the skits. Yeah.
And I think it was like based off a magazine.
There were comics, yeah.
Right.
I remember reading one of the comics once, and it was exact same.
It was.
feel.
It's funny. I remember that was like one of the main shows I watched on Cartoon Network, and I really enjoyed that show. Actually, I would watch because it was on like Monday night or something like that, and I would like go downstairs and watch it.
I think Mad was even before our time, though.
I
think it was like...
Right.
No, because as I got older, like, they started phasing it out.
Yeah,
I think,
right. It started going on Boomerang, which was where all the old Cartoon Network shows went.
Right, yeah.
Like the not Flintstones,
yeah, Flintstones.
The Jetsons. Oh, yeah, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, like Tom and Jerry. Oh, the Tom and Jerry.
They had the old Scooby-Doo stuff on there.
Okay,
right,
I love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I actually... I liked Scooby-Doo. It was like a paradox because I liked Scooby-Doo, but I was terrified of Scooby-Doo at the same time. 'Cause I was so freaking afraid of the monsters, and especially the ghosts. Like, I would have nightmares about the ghosts that they would have on there. Even though, like, at the end of the episode, of course, it's like the big reveal. Right. It's just a guy under a sheet.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I would actually have dreams where it's a ghost, but it's just a guy under a sheet, but I was still terrified.
Yeah.
So, it didn't make a difference.
That's funny.
But no, yeah, I love Scooby-Doo.
Okay, did you like What's New Scooby-Doo?
See, I'm not sure what the name difference is, but I kind of liked the ones where they had actual eyeballs, like because the really old-fashioned ones, they were just like dots, and that seemed kind of weird to me. Mm-hmm. And I mean, back when you're a kid, it's like anything lifeless, that looks kind of old. I mean, because the styles changed. Like, even on other shows, like, you would have, normal-eyed cartoon people. So
to me it looked old, so it was like I was biased against it automatically.
Okay, yeah.
Honestly,
That's
looking
fair.
back, it was probably just a great show, but.
I mean,
you
for
know,
me, like as I got older, like and technology got better, they've had better animation for everything, and so I was always like, yeah, better animation, and that's gonna make the show better.
exactly.
But then like now I think that show is probably over, whichever show like that changed, and now
Yeah.
I look back, I'm like, I want the old version back, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like Boomerang has its place because it's
Yeah.
like you kind of need those ones. You know, it's like personally I don't know which I like we watched a lot of Disney shows when I was a kid. But we also watch a lot of Nickelodeon. Like Fairly Odd Parents, we watch that all the time. SpongeBob. Obviously I can quote SpongeBob in pretty much any situation. So, you know, I'm a big fan of SpongeBob, but it's like sometimes it's like, you know, I love the characters, but it's dragging on too long. Like SpongeBob, they're putting
Aren't
out
they-
new
They're
episodes.
rebooting it. Why?
It's horrible.
It's ridiculous.
Why?
It's so bad
And-
because it's now it's just a cash grab.
You gotta here's the thing. Everything has its time, and you gotta let it go.
That's
Because once
exactly-
it goes, like, that just makes it so much more sweet when you go back
More
to watch
iconic,
it.
yeah, and you're like,
just,
wow.
All you gotta do from a business perspective is just market it. Just say, here's like a box set
Yeah.
of like every season, and
Yeah.
then sell that, and then people are gonna buy it.
No, yeah, it's like especially now you could put that on your streaming service. You could sell
Exactly.
that to Netflix or
So
something like
much
that.
money.
Heck yeah. And use your resources creating new content at Disney with all your
At
live,
Disney.
all your live action movies.
We don't want to see any more live action remakes
No.
of animated movies.
No more.
Sorry.
No
You
more
know,
Lion King.
I haven't seen a single rebooted movie.
Neither have
and
I.
I refuse
No.
to start. I'm not going to.
Rumor like
They're taking Mushu out of the Mulan movie.
that's messed up.
That's-
See,
listen.
he's like one of the best characters.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and like his whole dynamic with like the little bug guy,
the cricket.
the cricket,
the
yeah.
cricket.
Like
Lucky
that's such a good dynamic, you know. You kind of need that. So I don't know, like, it's so disappointing.
And here's the thing, like I'm not mad like the actors for like taking this opportunity because like it's great for them. They get to say I worked on a Disney movie.
Right.
But I'm mad at like Disney, the corporation. Like
Yeah.
this is just
No,
the
of
corporate
course.
like
The
let's-
Corporate
man.
greed.
Exactly.
The
It's
man.
man.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys have ever seen School of Rock.
Oh
but-
yeah. Stick it to the man.
Stick it to the man. And then it's like they call the principal like, "Oh, you're the man," and she's like, "Oh, thank you." He doesn't realize it.
That's Disney. They're like, yes, we are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like even the new Star Wars movies, like honestly,
They
it was so
Go home.
disappointing.
I don't know. We can talk about it now, right? Everyone's seen it
I
at
haven't
this point.
seen it. I haven't seen the third one. I saw the
Okay,
first two.
okay. Well, we
but-
won't talk about it, but basically, it was a huge disappointment.
Yeah. The spin-offs, amazing. I will say that though. Like
Like
Rogue One.
Rogue One solo movie.
I like
very
Rogue
good.
One.
But my problem is like why are those spin-offs better than like the main story?
I know it's like
it's
they.
like a side
That's because
quest
it's
on a video
something
game.
new. It's something
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
Something
Well,
people
right,
haven't
actually,
seen before.
I don't know. I mean, like Rogue One, it kind of like incorporated like the prequels and the original movies.
Because it was filler. It was in
Yeah.
between.
'Cause but-
Like it was right before the start of 4.
Right.
Which for me personally, it answered a lot of questions.
Yeah,
that
and
had
I
about
really
it.
enjoyed that.
And
And
that's
the
what
ca-
people want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the character development was better in that movie than in like the other 3 movies.
No,
The
I
new
honestly agree with
trilogy.
that. And the thing that sucks about that movie is like
they're gone. Yeah,
literally
They're not.
everyone
They're
dies
back.
at the end. It's like one of those things where it's like you joke about it. It's like, oh yeah, everyone died, but like blah blah blah. Like, but that movie, like literally everyone actually died.
Yeah, and like it's just, and it felt so.
Ugh.
Here's the weird thing, at the end of watching the movie, I felt so satisfied. I was like, because
Yeah.
the writers knew they didn't need to keep any of those characters because they had no place in 4, 5, or 6.
Right.
Right.
And they can't go back
So-
on those. so.
Exactly. So they're like, we don't need to keep anybody, which it's like sure you don't like to see him go, but
Yeah, but it was like
it's so like wow, these are real heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's like completely fictional.
Oh my
like,
gosh,
wow,
I know.
You know.
I know. That was a great.
I don't know
movie.
if you guys got this feel from like the original first 3. I guess it's episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they were rushed. You know, like if you go back and watch them, I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
it goes from one scene right to the
If
next,
you-
and it's
if you-
it's really quick. And I feel like with a movie like Rogue One, yeah, there is more story there, and it builds
Mhm.
on the story that
Yeah.
you already had, which I appreciate. It's like you get more background.
Yeah.
And you can get invested a little bit easier with the characters because you understand like the sacrifice that was happening.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if everything's happening in such quick succession, like boom, 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 I don't know. I feel like I couldn't, connect as much with the first 3 movies.
Well, and to be fair, it's like those first 3 movies, they had a lot lower budget.
They didn't know it was going to be so big. They didn't
Yeah.
know they'd get such a good following from it.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
but like, because like the thing is, the movies that they're coming out with now are like they're 2.5 hours. Like you're sitting in the movie theater
Yeah.
for a very long time, and like it gives them just a lot more like room to work with. But gonna be honest, like I don't think they really did a good job with that.
Well, what got me is that, like, episode 4, they've got the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
And then they come out with, like, the new movie.
Episode 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
it's just like a
carbon
death
copy.
planet.
It's
Like,
the exact, no.
What
if
was
you,
that
if you,
all about?
If you go like film by film, it's literally like 4 is the same, or 7 is the same thing as 4. 5 is the same thing as
no, yeah,
as,
exactly.
like 8, and then 9 and 6 are the exact same because you have like those multiple like starships that can destroy planets, and it's like rebuilding the Death Star again. Like it's just
Yeah, it's like they're just kind of just.
like we get it.
it's a remake in disguise.
I know, and like they just changed the characters a little bit, but like
They
the
literally
storyline's
only made it
basically-
to sell toys. Like with the Mandalorian, I actually respect who was.
Okay,
I think it
I
was,
heard
who
the
was,
Mandalorian was good. Was it?
It
I
was.
haven't
It
seen
was. It's hit or miss. It depends on who you talk to. For me personally, I didn't like it because I just felt like it was so empty. Like they had something they could have like gone in with and gone really deep, but then they went like they changed it to being like an episode by episode, like a separate story every time,
Oh.
without really answering the question you had, which was like until the very end, and it was so dry.
Yeah.
But
See, that bothers me. That's kind of how I felt when I first was watching Stranger Things. Like the first season, it's like you don't know what's going on
until like the second to last episode.
right, and it's
Yeah.
like okay, like I kind of have an idea, but I'm still really confused, So like
I loved Stranger Things.
I think Stranger Things was really good, and they did a good job with it.
I didn't want to watch it, so I didn't watch it until season 2 it came out.
Okay.
And so I watched.
It's kinda
but
where I was.
The problem with that was I watched all of season 1 in one night,
Oh my
and
god.
then I was like, "This show is too good." So the next night I stayed up watching season 2.
Oh my gosh.
And-
The episodes are like an hour.
Yeah,
But that's-
no.
Oh my God.
I
No,
did not
it's-
sleep for those 2 nights, and the night before I just couldn't fall asleep because I had sleep problems. So I went three nights without sleep.
Wow.
And the next day at school, it was like for Thursday or something, and I was the most irritable person. But like
I could see it.
I just wanted to
At
talk
that
about
point, you're just
Stranger
wrecked.
Things. Yeah, I was like, oh, dude,
Stay up for 2 nights.
Yeah, that'll do it to you.
it was worth it. I will say it's worth it.
At that point,
I-
you just start seeing the characters walking around the hallway.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I thought the thing was like, what was it called? What was the
I can't remember what the name is.
Honestly, I got halfway.
It's the,
No, I got to the episode before the finale of season 1,
Mm-hmm.
and
Tweet
It
us
was
if you
like-
know what the name of the monster is. In,
Yeah. Yeah, tweet it.
Stranger Things. I can't remember.
but honestly, with Stranger Things, it was like unless you binged it, like you could go without it.
Right. Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, I agree. Like, I kind of stopped halfway through the 3rd season because I just felt like, wow, like these kids, nothing can ever go right for them.
Mhm.
And then I haven't picked it back up.
Also, the 3rd season was a little disappointing.
Okay.
But it's like, so, because at the end, you're just like, well, I mean,
Is
It's
the
just-
third
it's just
season the
sad.
end?
It's
Is
just-
it like the very end.
well, there was a cut scene, like an end credit scene where like the camera pans down to like a Russian like testing site, and they have like another portal.
Oh my
So-
gosh. Like,
Okay,
see, that's
well,
just so annoying.
So they might. I mean,
like,
here's
they're
the thing.
trying to do, like, another.
So yeah, now I'm
Oh
getting
my
the sense it's
gosh.
like, oh, they're really just trying to like squeeze all the money they can out of this, and it's just it makes it so much less satisfying.
okay, I
'cause
heard
now I'm like, now they're just
season
desperate.
2 was like pretty similar to season 1.
Yeah, season 2 and season 1 were really good though, like, because there were different issues. Like, sure, it was the same cast of characters, then there's plus one more, but then there was like added layers to like the problems they were facing. Like they were learning more, and you could learn along with them, and that was what drew me in personally. I liked learning about like the world that these people had created for this show.
Right.
And that's because once I get invested in the world of
Yeah,
a
I
show,
appreciated that too. I liked
Yeah.
the setting of it.
and
Yeah.
it was really like well written. Like the kids, really good actors, really lovable like
Mhm.
people like out of
Believable
in real
for
life
sure.
too.
Yeah.
So like they were just fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, now it's just anything for money. you know.
I know, which really just is the worst.
For me, it's like I think you can overload on the sci-fi, so it's like everyone's trying to come up with a new monster or something.
Yeah. Especially with like Avengers and stuff, like there's so much.
Right.
Like,
Avengers ended. That was a 10-year saga. Hold on, I have a. Avengers, like the entire like Marvel Cinematic Universe was so perfectly formed and like stacked on top of each other.
I
And then
appreciate
at the
it for
end
sure.
of like the standalone films, it kind of lost a little steam, but then Endgame and Infinity War, like
Endgame, yeah,
so,
wrapped it up really
so
nicely,
good, so good.
undoubtedly. But what were you gonna say, Mike?
Well, I mean, just going off like the Avengers sort of thing. No, yeah, it's just like I don't know. Too many times, it's just like, oh, it's this whole nother world that I have to think about, and there's all these other characters that I don't know. It's just.
I will say it's different if you didn't read the comics, because for me,
Okay, did you?
I
Read
read Marvel and DC comics.
Okay, yeah. See,
um,
I never did that.
So, but the thing is, I didn't like Marvel comics. I liked DC comics better. So I knew more about DC comics, and it's a weird like paradigm shift between like
Yeah.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Marvel like comic universe, because the movies are better than the comics, and for DC the comics are better
Are
than the
so
movies.
much better than the movies.
Dude, I really hope they just take like Flashpoint and just reset the whole thing.
Yeah. No, what bothered me about DC is when they did, I think it was the Justice League movie or whatever.
Oh, with it. Oh, yeah.
it's like this is Avengers 1. Just repackaged. It's
Exactly.
like some guy with Power Cube comes to destroy world. Like, wait, what? I already saw this movie like 10 years ago. It's called Avengers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I don't know. So,
Yeah.
well, we are going to go back to the Twitter before we end the show. And let's see what replies we have right now. So at the beginning of the show, I told people to tweet me what they think my phone percentage would be at. We got 2 replies, 17% and 19%. Wow, you guys expect a little bit much out of me. My phone is actually at 9%. So
Staying strong though, not dead yet.
no,
Which is always good.
we're thriving. We're above 5%. You know, that's.
Yeah, 5% is a panic mode. That's when you're like ripping apart couch cushions trying to find the charger.
Yeah, and it's like at 5%, it's like it could die any second. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's kind of where
like
my
a
phone.
cold gust of wind comes, it's gone. You know.
Well, 5% is like the highest charge I think that I can open Snapchat without my phone dying.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, once I get to like 5%, my phone starts to glitch. Everything it freezes, and you're like, you're like, oh no, it's going.
See, that's how you know your iPhone battery's like going too. Like if it starts dying at like 30%.
Oh yeah, no,
like-
that's the worst.
Oh, my first phone was my first phone that I bought was a 5C. But it was
Dude, the 5Cs were dope. I always wanted
because they
one
were
of
so
those.
colorful, and I was
I
like,
know.
oh yes, please, I want people to look at my
definitely
phone and
wanted
notice
one
me.
of
No, that was actually my first phone.
But,
Oh,
like-
come on.
But like the 5C, I had it for maybe like 8 months, and I had maybe 20 to 25 minutes of battery life every single time I charged it all the way.
Oh, that's pretty
and
rough.
so, but dude, I held on to that thing because I spent my own money on it. Like I worked literally like for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Because my parents wouldn't pay me for like doing yard work.
Yeah.
So I just do it for free. Then maybe they give me $20 for
Mhm.
mowing like 4 lawns. And so like I saved up, bought it, and then like I was like, okay, now I need to like make it good, make it work, you know. And
Yeah.
I should have just let it go. But
Yeah, it's one of those things where you got to get the portable charger for sure.
No, honestly, I think the iPhone battery is a built-in self-destruct mechanism.
yeah.
Because after a year or so, it just goes up, and then you have to buy the next model.
Yeah. My friend, he has Android, or no, he's a Pixel now, but what he would do is he bought this like charger pack that could charge the individual batteries. Like you would take it, because for Androids, you can take the battery out of the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, some phones.
And so
can
he
do
would
that.
charge the batteries themselves, like separate from the phone, and he would have 3 batteries, and every time one would die, he'd just pop one out, pop the next one in.
That's a nice feature.
And
That is
yeah.
a nice feature.
That
And
is
so
really
he'd literally
nice.
have it like for like 2 days without having to charge it,
Hmm.
because then he'd just charge it all back up
Yeah,
at the same time.
yeah, no, that's really nice. That's really nice. So, All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up now, but thank you for listening. And thank you to everyone who follows us on Twitter and everyone who tweeted at us during the show. Shout out to Carlo because he was the closest in the phone percentage category. He had 17%. So, but yeah, so that's going to be all from us tonight. But
And, shout out to Katie Summers, who was the coolest freshman on the women's cross country team this past season, fall 2019. So, if that's it, I think we're gonna say goodnight. Thanks for being on with us, Aiden, tonight.
Absolutely, dude. My pleasure.
yeah, no, this is great. I'm very excited for what's to come for the show. So,
More
Yeah.
to come. Give us a follow.
and this is 88.3 WFRSCC, the best in contemporary Christian music.
Thought of you has gotta die to change. In the morning you gon' need an answer. Ain't nobody gonna change the standard. It's not enough to just feel the flame. You gotta burn your old self away. Hold on tight.